Kenya's Gold.
And we meet once again this Thursday, the 24th of July, right here on the show that serves as your one-stop shop when it comes to all matters agriculture. Anything that you need to learn about agriculture when it comes to husbandry of different crops and animals, whether it's value addition, market dynamics, both locally and internationally, and also government policies and regulations, all that and more is addressed right here on this program, and today will not be any different. Now we do have a full house today. You'll get to see them a bit later on, and we will be unpacking all matters coffee, the second most consumed beverage in the world after water. So please do stick around with us from now all the way until 7 p.m. to learn so much about coffee farming in Kenya and the dynamics of coffee globally. Once again, a very good evening, viewers, and thank you so much for making time to join us from whichever part of the world that you are watching us from. As is our norm, we do have a great show lined up for you. My name is Violeta Ngina, or the International Farmer. Now, the agenda of the show today, as I mentioned earlier on, is on coffee farming in Kenya. Now, with the cold weather that is being experienced in different parts of the country, I know a lot of us are holding on tightly to a hot cup of coffee. But right here on the program, we are not just about drinking the coffee. We are also keen on learning so much about the production of coffee. And I'll start by sharing a very interesting statistic. Now, the global value of the coffee industry is estimated to be about 65 trillion Kenya shillings. How can we tap into those figures? Now, to shed more light on that, we do have our full house. Like I promised, on my far left, you do have Professor Kiea. He is back. Remember, he was the chairman of the task force that was appointed in 2016 by the then President, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, and his job was to look at the value chain of coffee, what were the problems that the farmers are facing, and implement the solutions to that problem. He's back again to talk to us a lot more about coffee. Right here we do have Mr. Andrew Courier. He has been a coffee farmer since the 1970s. Welcome to Kenya's Gold, Mr. Andrew. Also next to him we do have Mr. Gikonyo. He is a dairy and coffee farmer, and at the same time he serves as the Deputy National Chairman at KENAF. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today. And we do have Patricia, who is making sure that back at home we are consuming our Kenyan coffee. She will be talking to us a lot more about what inspired her to get into value addition of coffee. Welcome, Patricia. Thank you for making time to be with us. And finally, on my far right, we have Mr. Samuel. Alifanya ukulima ya vitu vingine mengi, lakini finally akaamua coffee is the way to go. Why did he make that decision? He'll shed more light on that and more. Welcome, all of you, to Kenya's Gold. Karibuni sana. All right, and I'm just going to start straight with Patricia. Okay, so there has been a lot of conversations on Kenya hatukunywi kahawa yetu. All right, and that's one of the biggest problems that we are facing. Last week, Mr. Kiea alisema if we are to solve the problems that we are facing in the coffee space, lazima tuanze kukunywa kahawa yetu. We have to be our very own market. All right, and I want you to talk to us about, in your process of being a marketer, value addition of coffee, have you faced any challenges marketing our own coffee?
Oh yes, there are so many challenges when it comes to coffee, because again, I always say that coffee in Kenya is very much underrated and very much overrated outside the country. And most people don't consume coffee that we grow in our country. They end up doing the final product like instant coffees, and that's what most people know. You go out there and ask someone, what coffee do you take? It is instant coffee. When I tell them I sell coffee and I have my own brand of coffee, it's always, is it instant? Do I have to go brew it? So people don't have the know-how of how to be able to brew your coffee to something nice that you enjoy in your mouth. And you have to teach them. So when it comes to marketing, you really have to be very vigorous and you have to be very convincing, because we have been able to convert people to appreciate coffee and to be able to consume more coffee, more local coffees. Right. Again, we also do some farm tours with them. We're able to show them how coffee is grown, teach them, educate them, so they can be able to appreciate what we have, because truly coffee is a Kenya's gold. Right.
Oh, truly coffee is the Kenya's gold, and you are on Kenya's gold. Yes. Right. So people prefer having instant coffee. They're having a challenge with drinking. It's very easy to make, because you just mix boiled water and coffee, and you have coffee. But again, when you start to understand the coffee and how it tastes and the aroma, because whatever attracts people to our coffee is mostly the aroma. And then they taste the coffee, they always say, like, I have never had such good coffee before in the country. They're used to the normal milk and water and instant coffee. So I appreciate that people are able to change that. They're able to appreciate our local coffee, and they're able to even meet people who grow the coffee. At least now we live in a world where there's internet, so there's accessibility to know how someone grows from this to the end product. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to change the narrative of just people having to consume instant coffees, and to be able to introduce that we have our own very valuable coffee, which is very overrated outside there. And in the country, we need to also acknowledge that this is a very, very important product we have. Great. Thank you so much for that. I'll come to you, Mr. Andrew. Umesikia Patricia akisema lazima tuanze kukunywa kahawa yetu. Oh, umekuwa mkulima wa kahawa since the 1970s. Have you ever drank local Kenyan coffee?
Let me say that not at all.
Not at all.
This is because we don't have those people who are supposed to process coffee from the farm, then they roast it. They bring it back to our factories. They don't, as tea do. Normally, we do drink tea because we have tea in our factories. And also we have a processing around our area. But coffee, nowhere.
Nowhere.
We don't have people who are processing it for us to have it and to drink it and to know how our coffee tastes. We just take a Nescafe, other dirty coffee. Therefore, we are supposed to...
other brands, but we are not yet drinking our own coffee.
Don't.
Right. Great. So that is about 50 years, and you've never drunk local coffee. I know, Patricia, you're not happy about that. Not at all. All right, so I'll come to you, Professor Kier. Last week, you made it very clear that we do have Mercedes, which is our coffee, but we are marketing it like a tuk-tuk. Okay? So having been in the task force that was appointed in 2016, and your work was to figure out what are these problems that coffee value chain is experiencing and how are we going to implement that. Ukisikia kitu ambayo Mr. Andrew amesema, ambaye amekuwa mkulima since the 1970s, in part of your presentations, the problems and solutions you brought about was processing our own coffee, one of the things that you addressed, and how far do you think we are in achieving that?
Thank you very much, and let me also thank you for inviting me, and also my fellow panelists. And I think hearing what Patricia is saying is giving me a little bit of hope. Remember again what I said last time. I can bet you 90% of all the Kenyan farmers have never tasted their own coffee, for the same reason that Andrew has explained. You take your coffee to cooperative, you have no idea when I'm going to be paid, and even how much. Let me say that this year has been a very good year for all the coffee farmers, and I think there's evidence that the prices have never happened. I mean, those prices have been historical. But I can tell you, Gena, I can tell you might not be repeated again, because there's an inherent problem in coffee that we have not sorted out. The first one is that coffee is price inelastic. What does that mean? It means that in most cases, for commodities which are price sensitive, if the price, for instance, like the gasoline, if the price has gone up, most likely people will reduce what? They reduce consumption, isn't it? Because there is that inverse relation between prices and the quantity you demand. When a commodity is price insensitive, it means it doesn't matter what you do. Okay? So when coffee changed the prices, and for many reasons, I'm sure like now because all that US is doing the tariffs, that most likely going to have an impact on us. But the problem is, once Andrew has planted his coffee, he cannot have approved.
Yes.
He's still stuck with whatever, that oversupply is there. Okay? And you see now, that mechanism is to be there of controlling this oversupply, because the whole idea is to make sure whatever is demanded is what is being supplied, and you have an equilibrium price. So the fact that the coffee is price insensitive, the other inherent problem with coffee, it is grown in the south, consumed in the north. Our coffee is exported. We only consume about 5%. So what I'm saying is that, and I think Andrew confirms that, is that unless we deal with this price volatility, okay, by making sure that we give what is being demanded. If the coffee, the prices go, we hold a little bit, okay, and when the price goes up, then we release that coffee.
Right.
If that mechanism is not there, I can tell you we'll have another, and I think Bwana Ikonyo can confirm. The coffee prices tend to be very cyclical. Okay, it's up now. A few days or a few years, it turns down. So, and one of the solutions is Patricia's. I'm very, very excited. I mean, these are the young people who need to take over. Okay, because like you rightly stated, Ngena, is that, and this is what I want to tell the whole country. We are fighting on a very small issue. You rightly stated the whole coffee value chain globally is about 65 trillion shillings. That is almost 16 times of our economy. Okay? Do you know how much Kenya get from there? It is 0.03%. Very tiny. Okay?
From
because you are
of 65 trillion.
Yes, because you are stuck on this production only. We are not considering this value addition. What Gena is saying, and I like what he has done, is you get, and again, we don't have to consume all our coffee. We can send the best coffee, the specialty, and consume domestically. Because what that does, it cushions Andrew.
Right.
Okay? Because the prices goes up, if the America or whatever does anything outside there, we don't care.
Right.
But I know I'll buy that coffee, and I'll be able to support Andrew.
Right.
So that capricious move, because that's what they create all these problems for the coffee farmers.
So what you're trying to also say is when the prices are going low, we should be able to hold on.
Precisely,
to our
yes.
own coffee.
They have to be mechanisms to hold it.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
Because similarly, it's what the OPEC does, isn't it?
Yes.
When the OPEC countries, the countries who export oil, when oil too much supply, they hold a little bit. They all agree that we have to hold a little bit, and then release when the prices goes up.
Go up. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Gikonyo. I'm going to come back to you. You and Samuel, you are our farmers here, and now, tumeambiwa this is the best time for our coffee farmers. They are witnessing historical figures when it comes to the payment. I want you, Mr. Gikonyo, you talk to us about kama umeanza kufeel the effect of the coffee reforms. Wewe kama mkulima, are you happy with what is happening in the sector? And if you compare it to previous years, what has that change been like for you?
Yeah, thank you so much, Gena, and I want to ride on what Professor has said. About the local consumption against the international consumption. We actually don't consume coffee, but like me, that I started consuming coffee when I was at class 5.
Class 5?
And I started consuming our own coffee.
Yes.
By picking the beans from the farm and doing the process, unknowingly of what I was doing. But that was at the instruction of my late mother. So even today as we are speaking, if I recall, I can tell you how that coffee was tasting because it was a very good coffee. I think from my understanding in the coffee sector, I have a little bit of a divergent view, and Professor can confirm to me that, can confirm to us that the way we do coffee in Kenya, and I want to tell you about 90% of the people who are doing coffee in Kenya, most of them are actually doing coffee because they found coffee and they always heard that coffee has a lot of money. But it's not on the understanding of that which they are doing, like the way you would understand a business and you get into the business by understanding that business. And this is where the major challenge has been, because I had an opportunity to serve at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange as the chair. And the time I was there, I was able to understand many things and many dynamics. And the most unfortunate thing is that a coffee producer produces the beans, but he doesn't know what is in that bean when they are selling.
Sure.
But the buyer who is coming to the market to buy has already done the cupping of that coffee.
Yes.
So who is offering the price is the buyer.
The buyer.
The producer becomes a price taker. And this is where the pain is, because we actually, and I can confirm to you, that we don't sell coffee in Kenya. We basically present our coffee to the market or to the marketplace for anybody to come and pick and give us a price. I will be very happy one day when we will wake up and say that I have this coffee from my farm, this is the cup profile, and this is the price.
Right.
So take it or leave it.
Right.
Now, we are not also leveraging on technology. We are still stuck in the old model of going to the auction to sell coffee. Today, if I want, for example, to import a phone or a computer or a laptop, I don't go to where the manufacturers are, but I get into a system and it is delivered. So why not do the same to coffee? But the structure of the coffee, the way it is currently, it pains me, and I was sharing with the professor that a farmer who is acknowledged as a producer of coffee, his work is actually basically to cultivate coffee. But when it comes to the marketing, he has to acquire licenses, and he's not recognized as a grower to that extent of licensing. So the question is then, what do you expect this farmer who has coffee in their farm, when the prices come down, they are still stuck with their cooperative, with the organization.
Right.
But I'm looking for a situation whereby we can be able to liberate the coffee farmer by redefining the coffee farmer.
Right.
And then we are able to tell them, like the way today the dairy is happening. I have a cow, but I can sell milk today to this dairy, tomorrow to this dairy, other dairy, because of the price. Right. But for coffee, you are stuck to one organization. That is why we have a very big challenge.
Right.
So we need to rethink our strategy.
All right. I'll come back to you and I'll want to find out. Umesema mkulima wa dairy anaweza peleka maziwa yake kwa hii cooperative wakati ingine. I want to find out if I'm a coffee farmer, can I choose to be in two societies? Niende nikiangalia, Kirinyaga nasikia ni 150, Kiambu ni 110. Wacha nikimbize Kirinyaga. You'll tell me if that is possible. Samuel, in like a minute, I want you to talk to us about, umesikia hapa Mr. Gikonyo akisema shida ya wakulima ni wanapata tu kahawa ilikuwa inapandwa kwao, wanaendelea tu now without knowing how to handle it as a business. You yourself, who's gotten into coffee farming recently, have you studied the business aspect of it so that you make sure you're doing it a bit different from what our fathers and the ones who came before us were doing it? Talk to us about that.
Actually, I'm still doing it as the way it was done. But when I meet Akina Mr. Kiai and Akina Patricia, I'm changing, because I'm seeing that if coffee is taken the way it should, as Mr. Gikonyo says, that if we have the market or the processors in our country, then coffee is taken to the market as tea and other commodities like milk, then we will be in a better place. Because if we still go the way we have been doing it, I'm worried.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. Samuel. We'll come back to you later on. But for now, it's time for us to take our first short commercial break. But do not go anywhere, because when we come back, this display that we do have on the table is representing some of the different problems that farmers face in their farms when it comes to coffee diseases. We will be getting into that and giving you solutions to the problems as well. Lakini kabla tuende, lazima tutiz farm joke yetu ya leo, and my guest here will be giving us the answer to the farm joke. Tumekuwa na farm joke yenye tumekuwa tukipostpone. Leo lazima tupate answer, and my guest here, nyinyi ndo mtanipea jibu, sawa? Patricia, Mr. Kia, everyone. So the question is, what is a taxi driver's favorite kind of vegetable? It's a joke. Don't overthink. You'll give me answer at the end of the show. So we're taking our fast break now, but do not go anywhere. We still do have a lot more to talk about when it comes to coffee farming in Kenya.